Hello, everyone, and welcome to Module 4, Week 4. It is our last week together and the last week of your work. We are going to be covering Chapter 13 through 16 in this module. And Chapter 13, to summarize, all children need friends, family, and skills, but some peers are destructive, some families are harmful, and some skills should not be mastered. This chapter describes those details, explaining when a child's physical, mental, spiritual, moral, or social development is harmed. By the end of this chapter, you will have a better understanding of when peer culture, bullying, self-esteem, stress, divorce, and many other influences are harmful and when they are benign. We begin with the children themselves and then broaden our discussion to consider families, peers, and morality. Then chapter 14 dives into the reality that children grow into men and women is no shock to any adult, but for teenagers, heightened self-awareness often triggers surprise or even horror, joy, or despair. Adolescents pay attention to details of their growth that adults may not notice. This chapter describes those in details, the biosocial changes of growing bodies and emergent sexuality. Chapter 15 discusses several aspects of adolescent cognition, including the abstract reasoning required for advanced academic courses and the intuitive, emotional thinking that is preferred by adolescents themselves. Next, the potential hazards associated with technology is covered. The last section of this chapter discusses implications of intellectual development for middle and high school education, for those who go to college and for those who do not. And then chapter 16, although many parents are concerned about their adolescents' well-being, relatively few adolescents succumb to the dangers that adults most fear, such as drug use, pregnancies, suicide, and jail. Instead, they are caught up in things that puzzle their parents but earn respect from their friends. This chapter describes the search for identity, the role of parents and peers, and the joys and potential hazards of adolescence. To be successful within this week, you are going to review this video. I also will offer, just as I do every week, I'll offer a brief meeting Monday at 5:30 to go over any assignments. This week, our big assignments is our resource letter. But you're going to go ahead and read your chapters 13 through 16 in your textbook, review the embedded PowerPoints for those chapters, and then, of course, your quizzes, just like every week, is due on Saturday. Quizzes 13 through 16, they are 10 points each. And the discussion board this week is psychosocial development. So I want to go ahead and go into that really quick. And just like every week, your original thread is due Wednesday, and your 2 peer posts are due by Saturday, 11:59. So here is your actual discussion board. So here is a great website, stopbullying.gov. But while it has always existed, bullying and cyberbullying has become a major problem in middle childhood and adolescence. I have included a great resource regarding this topic. So please take a moment to look over some of the items on this website. After reviewing this website, after reading this week's materials and reflecting on maybe some of your own experiences, I'd like you to create a thread that addresses the harmful effects and possible solutions to bullying and cyberbullying. So here are some prompts to get you started. How was bullying dealt with when you were younger? How is it dealt with today? Where do bullies fit in the system of popular and unpopular children? What happens to bullies when they become older? And what advice should parents give their children who are victimized by a bully? Should a child be encouraged to defend himself or herself? When should he or she use adult resources? And is it always wrong to hit, such as in self-defense? Are self-defense and retaliation different? So please answer these questions after you watch this video and if you read your chapters this week. Again, your original post is due by Wednesday and your 2 peer posts by Saturday. Let's go back into our instructions. Okay, and then again, as you are aware, I extended the PGN assignment until Wednesday, the 29th at 11:59. I also provided 2 children for you. If you are stuck at home or you don't have any children that you can utilize, I utilize a couple of students in my program. One just turned 4 just within the last couple of weeks, and one is 6, will be 7 within a couple of months. So that is extended for you, giving you some time to look over the videos if needed. Your KWLs, that is incorrect. It is actually chapter 13 through 16. I'll change that. So chapter 13 through 16 KWLs are due January 29th. Resource letter is due January 29th, as well as your final exam. I'm also offering extra credit to those who have submitted all work. It's a very short survey. It's worth 10 points and it is anonymous. Your final exam, I offer you let me go back into the chat, the actual module to show you. So here's your practice quizzes, here's your final exam, here's your KWLs for chapter 13 through 16. And then I believe in the module prior, I don't see it here. What I'm going to do, guys, is I am going to, in this module, I'm going to give you a study guide for your final. And what I like to do with my study guide is you can go and write on it. You can utilize that when you're taking your final. So you'll have your book, you'll have your textbook, you'll have all the videos, you'll have access to it. So, and I give you plenty of time to complete that. And it is multiple choice. True and false and multiple choice is the format. And again, I will give you a study guide and I'll stick it in right here under the final exam. I'll give you the study guide and it'll just be something that you'll be able to write on and utilize within. The last thing I want to cover is a resource letter. So resource letter is worth 25 points and here is the information. So early intervention is key. Let me go ahead and make this larger. Okay, early intervention is key. All children should get an early developmental screening before the age of 3. There is no time to wait if a child is not thriving in development in these early years. So your instructions are, you are a parent of a 3-year-old boy that is nonverbal and somewhat shy in temperament. You begin to have some concerns because you notice that your friends' children around the same age as your son are very expressive and verbal. You mentioned this concern to your pediatrician and we're told, please don't worry, everybody develops at their own pace. Well, bottom line is that you are worried and you heard from a friend that you can have your child tested for or assessed for free if you submit a letter of request to the elementary school your son is slated to attend when he is school age. So you're going to have to do some research. You're going to have to find out an elementary school that your son could attend. So use your real home address. You're going to find the school district you live in and the elementary school that your son would attend in kindergarten. I want you to look up the principal's name of that school and the school's psychologist's name. Again, you're going to find your local school that you would be sending your son to. You're going to write a letter. In the letter, you're going to state your son's name, the age of your son, and your how you have a general concern for your child's speech, language, social emotional, fine and gross motor development, and overall cognitive abilities. And you would like a full evaluation and assessment done. You will need to address the letter to the principal of that school that your child will be going to in kindergarten. You also are going to CC the school psychologist and CC the special education division at the school district. Here are some samples, and it goes over some developmental screening, different types of screening that schools can do. Ages and stages is something I actually conduct on all of my students the first couple of weeks of school. It will talk to you about that, some communication, behavior scales, different rating scales, and so forth. We have PEDS, we have STAT, So look through these. You can look at, these are all things that you can request your child to receive. There's diagnostic tools, and then some great example of the diagnostic tools as well. So I list those for you. And in addition, the American Psychiatric Association Diagnostic, there's the manual in here that you can, and it helps kind of look up different diagnoses. So that is your resource letter. And again, we can go over this a little further, and I can give you some, we can go over an example Monday at 5:30 if you're interested in attending the Zoom Monday at 5:30. I'll send out that Zoom link in Saturday's email. And that is it for the week. So let me minimize that. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. I'll get back to you ASAP. If not, have a wonderful weekend, and I will hopefully I'll see some of you Monday evening. Take care.